Hi there. In this video, we will talk about Chapter 27 of Ibong Adarna, titled The Seventh Mountain. This chapter covers stanzas 859 to 911. We will also study the important events, characters, settings, and the lessons, messages, or implications found in this chapter. Let's begin. Don Juan arrived at the seventh mountain, where he found a hermit with a beard that reached his waist. The hermit became angry because his peaceful solitude was disturbed. Don Juan gave him a piece of cloth from an old man he had met in his previous journey. Upon seeing it, the hermit cried and called upon Lord Jesus. Don Juan explained his mission, but the hermit did not know where the kingdom of Reino de los Cristales was. Even though he had lived in the mountains for 500 years, he had never heard of that kingdom. To help Don Juan, the hermit rang a bell at his door, summoning all the animals of Armenia. Despite the many animals that arrived, none of them knew where the kingdom was. The hermit then handed the cloth to Don Juan and asked a unicorn to take him to his older brother, another hermit. Don Juan arrived at the home of the second hermit, who had an even longer beard that reached the ground. This hermit was also angered by Don Juan's presence. However, when Don Juan gave him the piece of cloth, the second hermit cried and called upon the Lord. The hermit then asked Don Juan about his purpose. But even though he had lived in the mountains for 800 years, he also did not know the location of the kingdom of Reino de los Cristales. To help Don Juan, the second hermit rang a bell at his door, summoning many different types of birds, which lined up according to their size. However, just like the animals before them, none of the birds knew where the kingdom was. Now, let's move on to the important events in this chapter. Don Juan reached the seventh mountain and disturbed the peaceful life of the first hermit. Don Juan gave the hermit a piece of cloth, making him cry and call upon the Lord. The hermit rang his bell to call the animals of Armenia, but none of them knew where the kingdom of Reino de los Cristales was. A unicorn brought Don Juan to the second hermit, who had a longer beard and was also angered by his arrival. The second hermit rang his bell to summon birds, but none of them knew where the kingdom was either. Important characters. Don Juan, the prince searching for the kingdom of Reino de los Cristales. First hermit, a wise man who had lived in the mountains for 500 years but did not know the kingdom's location. Second hermit, an even older hermit who had lived for 800 years but still had no knowledge of the kingdom. Unicorn, the magical creature that carried Don Juan to the second hermit. Let us now proceed to the setting of this chapter. The events took place on the seventh mountain in Armenia, where the first hermit lived, and on another nearby mountain, where the second hermit resided. Here are some of the lessons shown in this chapter. Even if someone has lived in a place for a long time, they may still not know everything, just like the hermits who were unaware of the kingdom of Reino de los Cristales. The willingness of different beings, such as the hermits and animals, to help Don Juan shows the importance of assisting others even when the outcome is uncertain. Don Juan's patience and determination, despite having no clear direction, inspire us to never give up when facing obstacles in life. And that concludes the 27th chapter of Ibong Adarna, titled The Seventh Mountain. What did you learn from this lesson? Share your answers in the comments. We also encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.